back.
Welcome to the Muscle of Yarncast. And we're back, like we said we were going to be in September.
We're right on time.
It's
Hopefully you had a nice month.
yes, September 1st today when we are recording.
Right.
And there goes the lights, but
I
don't know that. Do we need them? It's pretty bright, maybe. I don't know.
Oh.
The other one went out. So I'm going to keep talking while Jen deals with the lights. This is a
Abigail,
Yarncast
get up and walk around.
About she can't hear you because she's got her headphones on.
I guess we should turn
yarn
the light on.
And knitting and sometimes crocheting and some other fiber related crafts. And we bring you this Yarncast from our yarn store in Shelburne, Vermont, where you can buy most of the things that we're going to talk about today, either in store or online.
You must have replaced some light bulbs because it's just like...
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like I'm in the witness protection program today.
Right? I think the sun is also bright because the sun's coming in and stuff. But
I feel like these lights have been,
Oh,
anyway.
Yeah, those do feel bright. Maybe they got moved. So you can find the store out on social media.
Sorry, I'm still looking at the lights in the store. I'll pay attention now.
As Must Love Yarn, we're on World Wide Web and Instagram and Ravelry and Facebook. Those are probably the best places to find us and follow us.
Yes.
And I'm Angela.
I'm Jen.
And you can find me out on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Instagram as Jennifer_Arbuckle and Ravelry as J Arbuckle.
Yep. And, normal sort of caveat that those two pages are our personal pages. And so you'll see other stuff like my family's vacation, which I talk about, and the outtakes and sort of chit chat at the end. And you'll see some non-yarn content for basically yarn only related content. The store is definitely the account to check out.
Yeah.
So, but
indeed.
But I am getting a lot of mileage out of the Sock on the Go, Adventures of Sock on the Go. So I think I'm going to continue that because that feels fun.
A whole
actually.
new season coming up.
There's a whole new season as we enter back to school or have entered back to school.
Yeah.
So there we go. So we like to start our Yarncast with our Yarncast pick. And the way this works is that we're going to show you a yarn and give you a code. And for 2 weeks from when this Yarncast airs, so that would be September 6th for 2 weeks. Is it the 6th? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
2 weeks going after that, you can get 10% off online or in store with the code that we give you. And so, we do this as, thank you to our viewers, but also as a way to kind of highlight a lot of times new yarns or new things that we have in the store.
Replenishments.
Yeah. And sometimes our replenishments come with like new colorways and all kinds of fun stuff. So what do we have today, Jen?
We have Cuddle, which is a replenishment because we've had it before, but it tends to... So for those of you that like to make stuffies, this is your yarn.
Oh my God. And this is Larry the Lobster, and we will link the pattern for this guy in show notes because, oh my God.
Isn't he the cutest?
Just
a very rare blue lobster.
Very rare blue lobster. Yes. Oh my gosh. So it's a $7 Canadian pattern, so it's probably roughly $5 to $6 US for a $7 pattern, maybe closer to $6. But yes, you can find it on Ravelry, and the pattern is called Larry the Lobster. So that is
and all
amazing.
These beautiful colors.
Look at all those colors.
Yeah. So, excuse me, sorry. Many of you are familiar with this yarn, but it's a very cuddly, 100% polyester chenille type yarn.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I picked the darkest color in the world.
It's a bulky yarn.
That's that lovely. It is very soft and cuddly, and it's a pretty sturdy one. So some of them
shed.
Yeah, some of them shed, or they don't sort of hang on to their cuddleness. But this one does. It's really lovely. It has a very velvety sort of feel to it. So highly recommend. And what did you say how much it was?
It's $7.99
for
a
100 grams, 109 yards, super bulky.
Super bulky.
Yes. Velvety plush vegan chenille is how it is characterized on the label.
Amazing.
So keep that in
Amazing.
mind.
We have all the colors, apparently.
That's right.
All kinds of colors. So
I think all that are available, actually.
yeah.
Yes. So great for kid stuff.
Yeah.
There's some super fun, like cozy cowls and some other adult things, because it can be very luxurious when it's knit or crocheted up. So it has that really soft, velvety feel.
Yep, quick projects too.
Yeah.
Because of the super bulky.
Yeah.
So I think we can use the coupon code YP Cuddle.
Right. Y Cuddle. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Oh, sorry. Too much Wordle this morning.
YP Cuddle for our coupon code.
Just ignore me.
To get 10% off any of our in-stock colors of Cuddle online or in store for the next 2 weeks. So check that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, fall colors are coming in and fall yarns are coming in.
Absolutely.
So
starting to get stocked back up.
Yep.
Because it's almost sweater weather.
It's almost sweater
It could be. There's been a couple evenings this week where I thought to myself, yeah, gotta put a sweater on.
And then this morning I was
pleasantly surprised at how warm it was.
Not pleasantly surprised.
A little humid.
Super humid. It's like
a little bit of rain yesterday, like
90% humidity when I check my weather app, and like a 67 dew point or something. So I'm like walking around my house. I'm like, why am I so hot and sweaty? It's like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I pull out the weather app and I was like, that right there. That's it.
I went for a walk this morning, but there was enough of a breeze outdoors that it was actually quite pleasant, and it kept the bugs away. So it was really a beautiful morning.
Can I just say, so I spent 2 weeks out west and
in the
was
dry heat.
Reminded.
Oh, no, the wet heat.
No, how much I love dry heat.
Oh, yeah.
How much I dislike humidity when the temperature is up there at all.
And you missed some good humidity while you were gone.
I'm not sad about that at all. And also, there are not bugs out there. And I think it's partially because it's a dry heat. So no mosquitoes, no black flies, at least where we were, no gnats, like none of that stuff. No triple E, like none of it.
Yes, there's a small outbreak of triple E going on in the Chittenden County region.
And then I come back here and I'm like, ugh.
And there's health alerts all over the news. Don't get bit by a mosquito. Stay indoors.
Everybody is like, there is some level of panic, and I just like, for God's sake, hate these mosquitoes anyway. Can it frost already? And then they'll just go away.
I did have that theory this morning because also the spiders, it's spider season, and I live in a very old house, and so they're just, most of the time it's those long-legged ones, which I'm not a spider person at all.
Daddy long legs.
Well, they're sort of like just the long-legged brown ones. But there's also some fuzzy ones.
There's like all manner of, my cats have been delighted because I'll see them and they'll both be sitting and like looking at the ceiling, and I'm like, what's going on? And you look up and you're like, oh yeah, look, there's a spider on the ceiling.
Yeah, there was a good sized one that walked across the living room floor last night, which was really upsetting. And by the time I got up and went to get the fly swatter, I could not find him.
Where it went.
It was like literally 20 minutes before I was supposed to go to bed. So I was just like,
oh God.
I was not happy. And then I opened the door this morning and one dropped off the outside of the door right in front of me on the outside. And I slammed the door and the cat was like, what is going on?
I want to go out.
Like, I can't leave my house because there's a spider. It's gone now, but it might be lurking under the threshold. I did manage to brave my way out.
So welcome home to humidity and lots of bugs again.
Yes, but another couple weeks. Yeah. It's a plus and a minus, right? You don't really want there to be an early frost, but you kind of do because then after that, things are dead.
I'm here for that early frost. I really am. Sorry, all of you gardener people. Sorry, I'm totally lobbying for early frost.
Yeah.
But yeah, the humidity thing. Like when we were traveling, we flew through Atlanta, and so in both directions, I was checking what was happening weather-wise in Atlanta to just find out, like, are we going to get weather delayed or what's going on? On the way back, I turned to my husband and I was like, so just in case you were wondering, it is more humid in Vermont right now than it is in Atlanta, Georgia. The universe has shifted.
Yeah.
Like, so not cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's because of all the rain. It's
Oh yeah,
because
totally.
everything is just
Yeah.
damp all the time now. But we actually had some beautiful weather the week before you came back, I think
Okay.
maybe. And it was like those beautiful blue sky, 75, breezy, not humid days, which I could live with.
Yeah.
Not all year round like San Diego, but kind of.
Yeah.
More in the summer than we have had for a while. I would like more of that.
Well, but I would be here for that, but I was not. I was out enjoying dry heat, which actually felt cold to me. Like I had to buy a sweatshirt when I was out there. I had to buy like another pair of long pants because I packed for this weather, which I cannot stand, and I cannot have clothing on. And then you go out there and it's like 80, but it's dry, and you're like, wow, I'm cold because my body doesn't heat this anyway. All right, so you came here for yarn, not for me to continue to complain about the weather and other things like I was doing in the chit chat and outtakes. So here we go. Jen, what are you wearing? Which also looks like an FO.
It is a finished object. Woo! I think it was actually finished by the end of the week before the podcast posted. Yarncast posted. Yes, my rainbow top is done.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The neckline is a little loose, so I was just thinking when I put it on this morning again that I would maybe just do a really tight crochet around it, just to one layer to
sink it in a little bit.
Yeah, but otherwise it's good. The armholes are good. I like the looseness of it.
Yeah,
I felt like it was a hair shorter than I wanted it to be, which is odd because I held it up 1,000 times. I tried it on, and then when I finished it, I was like, huh.
And how are you for yarn usage? I
didn't even finish the skein.
Okay.
And I used the extra skein to do the bottom part and the trim, the edges.
Yeah.
But I didn't finish. I had yarn left over. I had to sort of carefully manage it because of the front and back and the doing them in separate chunks.
Yeah.
Especially then up here.
Right.
But luckily you can count the rows. It was pretty straightforward. So there's a little bit of wonkiness in terms of the color, but I think it's funny because of course it's A-line a little bit, so the bottom stripe is skinnier, and then they get a little bit wider as you go up because there's less space.
Yeah.
But so all in all, pretty happy with it.
Awesome. It looks great.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, it's good. I will tell you that I finished it. Maybe it was like the Monday after our podcast aired last time. I don't really know, but it was pretty quick. And literally the temperature dropped 20 degrees.
And you were like, of course it did.
I was like, all right. So I've only worn it once or twice because it's been, it has not. And then I thought, oh, look, it's going to be in the 80s today. Yeah. Perfect.
So apropos of the conversation about weather. Oh, you want to continue with?
No, I was just going to.
What the pattern is.
Yeah, sorry. Do that part because I forget sometimes.
Yeah.
It is called Stella by Sandy Prosser. Sandy with an I. And, my project page is linked there. And then the yarn is one of the Queensland Collection rainbow cakes. And then I had one skein of the Fine, which is their in the white color to use for trim and whatever. And as it turns out, I probably didn't actually need it, but I think if I hadn't done that, I would have run out of yarn. So it was very close, but I have little balls of, I think the blue and the purple and a little bit of the white left over.
Yeah.
So it was a fun knit. I will say that a great summer knit, actually.
Yeah.
So those of you in warm places. Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
So I bust out Summer Fields, which is both knit and sewn with just some cotton fabric because that's all I could wrap my head around having on my body today as I was dripping with sweat just walking around my house. So
gotta open the windows, let the air in.
Nope, that makes it worse.
You have an air conditioner.
The AC's on when I get back home.
Oh,
yep.
That's why.
The windows were open and I shut them. Anyway, so people who enjoy ACs and people who do not apparently marry each other. So there's that.
Great.
So I'm wearing Summerfield, which is a combination of a sewing project and a knitting project. It's a cute little great tank. And I always keep saying, like, I'm going to make some more of those.
I have one that almost, I don't even know what it means, like a hem probably, and it's done.
What a great, like, combining of these projects and these crafting mediums into this, you know, fun little wearable tank top that in the summer you can wear by itself and you don't get too hot with the yarn. This is a fingering weight yarn, and you know, in this winter or the fall you could wear it with a cardigan or a blazer or something, and so you know, it's pretty versatile, and you can get, you know, fun with your fabric and your yarn. So, and this doesn't use a huge amount of yarn, so like you could use up leftover skeins.
I think it's like maybe 25. I don't really remember.
It's like but half a skein or less.
I think it's even less because I'm pretty sure it is
even less. But like, let's not get false information
right.
About how much yarn it actually uses, because it might depend on your size. But like, it's less than half a skein, so less than 50 grams of yarn for that. So
I was looking to see, but it's not nearby. I don't know where it is. All right, well, the internet's not working, so. Mine's, I think it says I use 40 yards of yarn.
That can't be right.
10 grams.
No, maybe it is. I don't know. It's not very much yarn.
That doesn't sound right. Oh, no, sorry, never mind. I had two different ones in mind for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe 20 grams total.
Yep.
Oh, I striped it.
You striped it. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
all
folks.
Right. It's all making sense.
Kind of.
Again. So, finished objects.
I do have some.
I have a couple. I have one that I apparently forgot to bring with me.
4 things to talk about besides my top.
Okay.
So, perhaps first and foremost. So, my
so cute.
Yeah, it's Nimblina. It's not Nimble. I decided it was a woman, not a man.
Amazing.
Yes, and the hat. I don't know that the hat somehow got. It feels like it's supposed to be more side. Oh, maybe I just got a little off kilter when I was setting up where the front was going to be. Who knows? Anyway, she's kind of a boho chic kind of girl.
Amazing.
She's got braids and a little glitter, and I didn't like the beard, so. But yeah, she's very cute. She might go live in my niece's bedroom. We'll see.
That's fun.
Yeah. So,
super fun.
If not. But she sits up. She does what she's supposed to do. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Amazing.
And I'm glad she's done because she was fiddly.
I
got into it yesterday
when
I was finishing. I had finished everything. I just needed to
sew it together,
assemble her and make some braids and whatever. But
yeah. No, super fun. I did get the little things finished on mine, and did post a picture in the last episode. But yeah, it's super cute, and I'm ready to do the next one.
I am ready to just enjoy watching other people do the next one.
They're fun.
They're not fun. I just have other things.
You want to do. Yeah. So in looking at show notes, I realized that I still had my Rose City Rollers Socks on the Go project was apparently still a work in progress, and I thought that I had finished those, so I didn't bring them with me. But they are done. Can insert a picture. It's they.
Proof.
Yeah, no, they're done. Actually, I've been wearing them. They're good to just throw on in the evening if it gets a little chilly, to cover my feet. So those are done. And I also finished another pair of large peds while I was away. So this was my vacation knitting, Socks on the Go. So I did these in the 2 weeks that I was gone.
Not to skip ahead to whips, but I did start them, but I'll show you how far I got. Got this far.
I mean, it's progress. I really like how this pattern fits the foot for a shorty sock, so I foresee making more of these. Yeah,
I will say,
really like
being partway through the cuff part, it is a little fiddly, but now I figured it made sense.
Yeah,
you have to
and you also have to read the directions, because I continue to read the cuff directions as to do the knit purl for 9 rows instead of for 9 stitches, and then wrap and turn, and then I go back to do the next step and have to pull out like 9 rows because
I somehow didn't do that, which is fine, which is good.
My brain is just disconnecting at that particular.
But it's funny because between the gnome and that cuff and finishing my ranunculus, I feel like all I've done lately is like something that's small in the round where I'm doing short rows back and forth around in the magic loop scenario. I was like, yesterday I think I finished the sleeve on the ranunculus, and I was like, oh my God, not again. Enough of this.
So for those of you that recognize what this yarn is, this is the Woolens and Nosh 2023 Advent Calendar yarn, which for those of you playing along, I think I have one from 2022 and maybe 2021, and I did also just receive the one for 2024. So I finally used one.
But only half of one.
Only half of one. I think I'm going to make some mitts out of the rest of the skeins. Because that'll be, I can sort of customize maybe the length a little bit to have it, to just use up the rest. And the nice thing about her Advent skeins is that they're broken. So I already know, like if I use all of this one, then I have the same amount for the second one. So yeah, this light thing is like,
I don't know what the deal is today. It's very
I don't know.
today.
It's going off quickly, which seems anyway. So Advent Calendar. I love her yarn so much. Not only the dye job that she does on it and the color choices, but just the feel.
Yeah,
like
it's really
some sock yarn can get a little scratchy. This is so nice.
This is soft and squashy.
I can block these. These are just going to get softer when they get washed.
Yeah.
But I have been also wearing them. So I had them on yesterday. In fact, because it was a little cooler yesterday. Or I felt like I needed to wear shoes. I don't know. Instead of flip-flops. It was raining. So yes, I was going to wear shoes. Yeah. Which is why I wore socks. Yeah. Versus today, I have flip-flops on.
Yeah. It's nice out today.
No, it's not. But it's fine.
So 2 more squares of my temperature blanket. So you saw most of this one last time, but that is July. It was warm in July. And then this one is August, and it started off very warm, and it's gotten basically the green is like, yep, it's warm during the day, and it gets down into the 50s at night, which is what it's starting to do. So I put it all together and took a picture. Come on. Oh my goodness, things are not fast here today.
No, it's not going.
I don't know why it doesn't want to, but just you can start to, that might be, it's just going to do this to annoy me. But you can start to see all the colors, and I was sort of deciding whether I was going to go January, February, March, April, May, June versus like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because then the colors sort of will do that. So anyway, it's fun to see it getting bigger.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yay. So I did take some crochet stuff with me.
Are you still on FOs?
Well, it's kind of. It's like a little bit of both. And there's a story, and then it's a little bit. All right, so I decided that I needed to make hacky sacks for the holiday bazaar at the school in December, because I thought, I'm sure there's some adults that like hacky sacks, and even if the kids don't fully understand like what they are, there's still a little ball that you can like squeeze on or toss at each other or whatever. Yeah. So I found this great little crochet. This one's been at my house and been tossed around, which is why it's covered in like cat and dog hair. It uses cotton, worsted weight cotton yarn, so like the coastal cottons or the, what is that stuff called?
Sugar and cream.
Sugar and cream, or like there's like a loops and threads, big twist if you're going to Joann's. That big twist yarn's really nice, really soft. And then you fill them with pony beads. So I have like no shortage of pony beads in my house that I'm just like, what am I going to do with this stuff?
You can use them to weight your gnome with instead of lentils.
Right, you can use it in the gnome, or you can use it to fill these hacky sack balls. So here's a finished hacky sack ball. This is one that I did before I left. I did not want to travel with pony beads. So these are all of the ones that I did. There's a ton of them in there. I'm now to the point where it doesn't take me that long to get one done from start to finish. So you get it. This is the point at which it would need to be filled with pony beads. And because it's crochet, I can just put this little stitch marker in it to hold it till I was able to get home and fill it with pony beads and then do the final crochet round, decrease round. So, you know, I've got, these are all of the ones that I did when I was on vacation. Like this whole bag is just filled with little balls. Because you could just sit and just do it, you know, take an hour or so. And I went with a goal to do one per day. And I think I hit that. I might actually have more than that in here.
8 per flight.
Yeah, no, I did do some on the airplane. So those of you that follow me on social media know that we had a crochet hook incident while I was away because I got some new prim. Like really, these are really nice. They're like ergonomic, like they feel really good in your hand. But like, look, I hook-handed my crochet hook. I literally broke the top doing these little balls. And yes, you're crocheting them at a really tight gauge because
they're also like that cotton yarn.
And they're that cotton yarn. And this is like a really small. This is an E. So for worsted weight cotton yarn, that's a really small hook. So I broke it. So that was fun. So then I had to make an emergency trip to Joann's to buy a metal one, which has worked just fine. The handle short. I don't like I got used to this handle and the shorter handle, so I'm a little cranky about that. But I can't break it. So I Hulk-handed a crochet hook. So we'll add that to the list of things that I have Hulk-handed over the years. It used to be
it's
wooden,
a tension issue, not a
knitting needles. I don't know. Like, how do you knit at a tight or crochet at a tight gauge on cotton yarn with a small hook that's plastic and not break it?
Yeah.
So anyway, so thank God for Joann's. And then I was back in business and away I went with my new hook.
I offered to emergency send one to her, but
it was actually faster to go to Joann's.
Yes,
and just get a new one.
And cheaper.
And also metal. So I won't have that problem.
We have metal ones here.
I know. Yeah. But there was a Joann's like
no. 2
miles from my parents' house.
It was faster for you to go and do that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So anyway, so that's my fun, sad story about breaking stuff. So do it in crochet too, not just knitting, also crochet. But yeah, so hacky sacks. So
there you go.
Holiday Bazaar. Yeah, and I had a bunch of sugar and cream from just like other random projects I was doing. I also grabbed a skein of this Big Twist. This is like a Joann brand. It's not bad. It's actually pretty soft for cotton yarn. Nice. It's not bad at all. They have some nice colors.
Yeah.
So, you know, just always looking for sort of that, if I'm doing stuff like this, that inexpensive. And with Joann's, if you hit the coupons just right, they're practically giving it away. But I don't need any more cotton yarn at this point to finish these hacky sacks. I'm just going to use up like kind of what I already have and call it good.
Yeah.
So that was an FO and still works in progress and kind of deal going on. Ranunculus.
It's on again.
Woo! Yay!
Yes, it's still a little damp because I put it in the bath yesterday to straighten out all the kinks.
That's so weird that it didn't dry.
I know, right? Well, it was towards the end of the day, but yep. So it's the sleeve is repaired, the front is repaired, and while I was at it, I changed because I had when I knit it before, I had a really long rib because I
Mhm.
was following the pattern, and then I was like, oh, I don't want it to be quite that cropped, and I had added length, but when I put it on, I was like, oh, yep, still too short. So I just kept going. So I fixed that, so now it's all knit down to the bottom, which I
Except for the
prefer.
little teeny tiny bit. of
Yeah,
it at the
just a
bottom.
little something to keep it from folding under.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I'm excited to go put that back on the drying rack and have that back in my rotation. I didn't
Nice.
have quite enough yarn, but luckily because I use a lot of the same colors of yarn,
You could use a
there was
different.
one that's very, very close there. No one's ever
Nobody's
gonna
gonna
see it.
notice.
Yeah,
Nobody is gonna notice.
yeah.
Keep going. I have no other FOs over here.
So I did a local, beginning of August maybe, I did a local garden felting class at Horsford's Nursery.
Cool.
And I think we're going to have them come and teach here.
That would
probably.
be really cool.
Yeah, they were fun. And it was needle felting.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so this was, the back is almost as interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the color of the felt, the bright pink that I was felting on. And so
so do you lay that over like, so is it felting like you would do like to make the little like kits that we always buy and that we never I never use, and I've got like 3 of them in my house.
You're basically the needle felter needle, when you push it down through into the felt behind it, it just
adheres to the felt.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. So she doesn't always use wool roving. She has a mixture. So she uses some of the acrylic roving as well.
Interesting.
So this was a paint by number kind of thing where she had it diagrammed, and then I just picked the colors and put it together. And I did this in the whole 2-hour class.
That's fun.
And there's some embellishment still to be done, and it can be framed or whatever. And I would probably add a little bit of embroidery to give this a little bit more depth, or I would felt some little balls onto the middle or whatever. But it was fun. It was a very hot morning in the garden, but it was meant to also be landscape thing. So a lot of people did landscape. And I don't know why I didn't make my own, but I wasn't feeling it that morning. So I wanted to do something that was kind of mindless, but yeah, it was fun to do. And I think, and she also had dryer balls, so you could felt onto the dryer balls. So they could be ornaments, or they could just be like,
oh, that's cool.
Versatile, really use them as dryer balls and just have something pretty to look at when you're doing your laundry.
Yeah.
No reason not to have your home full of pretty crafty things. So
totally.
Yeah, it was super fun. Really fun. Nice woman. She's an artist, and she's in all sorts of media, but has been doing this
That
as
is
well.
fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think that's it for finished objects, but I also have, I guess, I have 3 whips with me. Forgot about this guy.
So I also note that on the whips is the Oh Baby Cardi, which I think I needed to weave in ends and sew buttons on, maybe? I can't remember.
Which one is that? Is
that was
the
striped one.
You were still working on it last time.
So
last time we saw
it had one sleeve, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So that's been finished. I will put a picture in because now it's finished. Ends were woven in, buttons sewn on, and it's been gifted.
Oh, right.
So I'll put a picture in so you can see. It turned out it's cute.
Yeah,
super cute.
Yeah. And the green one too has been gifted.
Green one was gifted a while ago.
Yeah, that was. I think you had that pretty much done the time you showed it.
Yeah. So I'll show the striped Oh Baby cardigan. It was cute. I found these cute little like white with glitter button, like pink glitter on them. So it just kind of worked.
Yeah.
Really well. No ribbon because I couldn't find. It's a really narrow button band. So, but with the backing button, it's fine. Like that'll hold it in place, well enough. For baby cardigan. So yeah. Super fun.
Yeah. Is that it for finished objects?
Yes. Well, half of which I didn't even bring with me because I forgot they were finished.
I was excited. I was just piling things up. Last night I was like, "Yep, I'm finishing this and this and this and this," and it was nice to cross everything off. Yeah. And I've been sort of puttering away, and most of them have been like the gnome was done like 2 weeks ago, but I just wanted to finish it up. And so now I'm kind of focused in on a new whip that no one's seen yet.
I have one of those too.
And, I have 2 again. Technically, I did start the large peds.
Yeah.
And as I said, I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, so you did good and followed the directions and
I
used
tried
the
to.
cord.
I
And
wanted to
did
just
all
see
of
how
that.
it would work.
Yeah.
It was there was a little bit of swearing involved.
I ignored that part and have just in both of mine just picked up from the cast on edge.
Yeah, I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it as
Yep.
because sometimes it's a technique thing to
Yep.
learn how to do it. So,
Yep.
Yeah, I like to learn new things.
It is, and I was like, no, I don't need to do that.
I was just curious, actually, because I tend to just use these to try things on.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to.
Oh, was that a good use of those try it on cords? Did it work okay?
So far, I haven't tried to. I will say that the provisional cast on for the gnome, I used yarn instead, and unfortunately, I used a pink yarn, which was stupid.
Oh no, because then you're like, I can't find.
Oh my god, I was swearing so irritated, and it's so tiny that trying to find the stitches. I don't know. I dropped anyway. There were a lot of bad words.
Decisions were made that day.
Yes. So I'm using one of the little teeny weeny wools for my cuffs.
Nice.
Our little teeny weeny wools. And then I have a skein, I think from when Knits and Bolts went out, maybe. But I don't even know. It's a bamboo wool.
That looks like something from Knits and Bolts.
Serenity. Yeah. So we'll see. It'll be fun with the pink.
And I did just, if I didn't show this, but I used the counter color for the inside cuff for these guys and then changed colors, but did stripes, did not change it back for the heel flap and gusset. So that's the stripes continue down and then go, which I thought, given the micro stripes, worked really well, actually.
Yeah.
And then I got to see more colors from the screen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now that I've done all these other little things and gotten them out of the way, I'll pick away at those.
Nice. So whipses.
Yeah.
Whipses.
I have 2 more.
Okay, go. I only have 1 more. I was pretty strategic with the stuff I took.
Well, you were on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is
fly, and so I couldn't just bring like a whole bag of stuff. Like, oh, geez, sorry, I just kicked the tripod.
It's very weird. For those that have been wondering what happened to the sweater, I picked it back up again last night, and I put like an inch on it last night. So I'm just gonna, try and do a bit every night, alternate maybe with the other big whip.
Nice.
So that I can get it moving. Yeah. And now that it's not so hot in the evenings, it's perfectly fine. Plus, it's a cone, so actually, it's not like I have the yarn on me. It's just a sweater.
Right.
So that is moving.
That's fun.
And that is halibut for those that are not aware. It's a.
So we can add halibut back up to the whipses.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Caitlin Hunter pattern, and mine is being knit with Bartlett Yarns cone, and there's Port Weight.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Is that
yes
the cardigan? I've been wanting to see this. I actually pulled my yarn out because I wanted to see yours to see if that was the direction I wanted to go.
So I started the Seaglass cardigan.
Yep.
And I actually, according to the pattern, am at the point where I would split for the sleeves.
Okay.
I just was motivated, and I just kept going and going and going. And then I tried it, and I went down a needle size because everything I've knit lately has been too big. Not too big, because the
gauge has been too big.
Yeah, I've been going down a needle size for a while now, and I'm having mixed feelings about whether that was the right thing to do or not. Because of the yarns being held double, but I like the fabric, and it is what I want it to be. So.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a really cozy sweater.
Yeah, and it stretches out. So when I tried it on, my row gauge is off a little bit, and so I'm just going to keep going a little bit more because I feel like this is not. It's hard to tell because there's a collar,
right?
But I don't feel like that's where I want it to be.
That's far enough down.
Yeah, even with the collar, like it's hard to tell.
Right.
But I feel like I think I was going to do one more round of.
How many do you cast on underneath the?
10.
Okay.
So I don't think it's wildly off, but because and I didn't do a gauge swatch, just went. Well, because I knew I was going to use these needles, and it was just going to be, and also I knew that I could adjust it just by adding more to it.
Right.
So these are the American U yarns, with the exception of the white color. Oops.
Okay.
That's no fun.
I kind of like how that's ending up.
So I have a system that I developed to figure out how to use the colors.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, I'm a weirdo.
Well, no, it's no.
Yeah, so for those that have not heard about this 100 times by other people,
It's a Seaglass
cardigan by Wool and Pine.
And so the thing that intrigued us so much about the Seaglass cardigan was this particular pattern and technique seems to be solving a lot of the issues that people had when trying to do the Seaglass tee with color changes and
unless you had your own
ends
system like
woven
I did.
in and things like that. And as you can see, all of those little yarn edges on Jen's, apparently when you pick up the color, those get trapped in and or something.
When you have finished, you go back and you do like an I-cord thing.
Okay.
I've looked at it a couple times because I will say, so I'm missing one of the colors. There's a pink that's missing.
Did it fall out?
There it is, right there. So actually, you know what? I'm just going to grab this because it will be easier to show them so that they don't fall all over the place. Yes.
Yeah. And I dug mine out because I have the same kit except with gray, so that all the other colors are the same. Yeah. But with light gray instead of Jen's or like a dark blue.
This is my main color. These are the accent colors, and I thought that I like contrast when I'm doing color work.
Yeah.
So this is a primrose yarn that I had for a different sweater. It has like little tiny flecks of color in it, but barely. So this is sport weight, the American U, and this is the twisted one that she did. That was sort of that one show wonder kind of thing. Maybe she's still doing it, but I feel like, remember she had a thing where something got over dyed, and so she did. So it has like this dark and light twisted together. So this does not, and I will say this is DK weight, so it's a hair plumper. I can tell when I'm knitting with it, but it's fine. So I had this whole, did I do it on here? Or maybe I made myself a little order for how I'm using the colors because I thought if I just did them randomly, it could be completely fine. But I wanted to make sure I was using the colors consistently, so I had enough. And when I got to the sleeves, I wanted to be able to know how I was doing things. So you may or may not be able to tell. It's actually easier to see on the back. So I am using one color all the way through for 8 or 9 rounds, and then alternating it with the other colors.
Oh,
so there's actually
stripes.
You can sort of see the stripes on the back, but on the front you get them, but they're very subtle on the front.
That's actually a brilliant idea.
I was pretty excited about it, I must say. I started with using the main color yarn because I knew that then the collar and the sleeves and so this is the top actually.
We'll lead into that.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Lead into it well.
Yeah.
And not just be like, stark. Like,
which would be fine.
Yeah.
Because it's so mixy.
Yeah.
The way I'm knitting it and so like I did in my Seaglass tee, I'm switching every other, because you have 2 new colors every row on this. Because it's sort of like short rows. I mean, not short rows like I-cord, like you go to one end and then you go slide everything back and start at the beginning again, which is why you have all these fringy things. And so so on one row, the main color for that sequence is in my left hand. On the next row, it's in my right hand. And then the other. So you can see when you get in close, like you can see how prominent the color is and then how it kind of disappears until you stretch it out, and then you can, so it's hard to see on the screen there, but when you're in person you can sort of see it.
Yep.
Like the blue is prominent, but then it's not.
Yep.
It's sort of hidden behind there.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, I had several different theories about how I was going to do this. And so I figured this was the only way to make sure the color is really equally distributed.
Are you using these other colors in the same sort of general order
So I
each
have,
time?
yes. Oh, yes, I have my, my system. So there are
Yeah.
8 colors plus my main color, and then I alternate. So starting with color 1, then I use 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, alternating. Then I started with color 2, and then I use 3, 4, 5. So I have my little sequence outlined.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It took me. At first, I was like, well, this might be weird, but I wanted to really make sure I was using the colors equally, and this seemed like the easiest way to do that. So I don't know where I'm going to end up on the bottom. Like maybe it won't end with the main color row, but or the main color predominant, but that's fine. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So as a result, unlike my other Seaglass, which was completely random, like sort of alternating darks and lights, but kind of not. Like I had 2 bags, and I would move from one bag to the next, and then when that bag was full, I would switch them back and start over again. And I would just grab 2 colors that appealed to me.
Whatever.
Yeah, for every other row. But so now I feel like this will be across the body of the sweater will be consistent, and it will look like this is like theirs are very organized for the most part.
Yep.
And so you could choose. Like they carried the main color. Picking yarn for this is a little tricky. Like this should be more than enough yarn. They carried the main color all the way through on a couple of theirs, although they say you don't have to. But looking at the yarn quantities, it was a little hard to figure out how much
if
yarn
it was
you
going to
needed.
work and if you had enough.
But we have plenty from those kits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if it, with having 2 skeins of one color, if that was enough to make that the main color.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do sort of talk about that in here somewhere. They have like several different color things to try to give you quantities. But then there was a little bit of math involved. But yes, I'm sure there's enough.
Okay.
And the other thing that I decided was that I was only going to use the main color as an accent band at the top and at the bottom, but not all the way through. So because I'm a little anxious about making sure there's enough
for the collar.
Yeah.
Because collars use more yarn than you think they do.
Yes, and also I think I want to do the shawl collar. There's 2 different versions. One that has a shawl collar, and one that doesn't. So the yellow one has the shawl collar, and the other one doesn't. But I would like the shawl color, I think. So that will take a lot more.
Yep.
And it's got there's a deep folded cuff and a long rib at the bottom. So anyway, so I decided that I would just have the stripes with this only be sort of on the edges. Okay. And that the rest of this would be the body of it.
Okay.
And I'm not using this color in the chunks of stripes.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
It's like this long thing that I took.
So you're not using this blue at all right now.
Only I use this in the top.
Right. No, but I mean, the rest, what you're working on now till you get to the bottom, you're not using it. Okay.
No.
Yep. Okay.
I'm gonna see. And so I think, I don't think I've gotten through, let me see what colors they are. I sort of know my sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I'm just about at the point where I have to decide
if I'm
going to do this. Because I might, I could do something like between the big bands, but then so it gets woven through a little bit, but I think I have to go back and double check my math, but because they are pretty clear about how much of this main color you need.
For like the shawl collar
and
stuff. Yeah. Okay.
And I think there's enough. In fact, there's a little bit more than enough, but not like enough more that I'm comfortable having that be sort of spread throughout. So
Awesome.
I did not. Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah, and I was so into it. Like once I started it, that's all I worked on, and then I was like, I got to get this other stuff off my table. So, and I got to the dividing point, and I was like, oh, I'm not there yet. And then I lost my mojo, and I thought I'm just gonna finish these other things, and then, but now my focus will be between the halibut and that to sort of really work those up.
Now I'm excited, and because I have the same kit, just a different main color.
Yeah.
And I think
I can send you my diagram if you.
I think I got it.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
With what you did.
I'll modify it.
Yeah. So, and I like that idea. I think that's a great idea.
Because the stripes are really subtle. Like you can't see they blend right in until you, like when the sweater's done, I think they'll be very subtle horizontal stripes. But
I think that's a cool use of that yarn. And mine's clearly just been sitting as well. I haven't gotten to doing the pattern that it was recommended for. So, I want to do this one, and I have this yarn, so like, why not at this point? And I have a couple skeins that I got that were like seconds of that same yarn that I think was like last year maybe.
Oh, I have a turquoise one. You're right.
Like a turquoise one, and I think like a gray one. So I might pull those out and like work those in as well.
Yeah, there should be plenty of yarn.
Yeah, but I just think because I have the gray as my main color, but if I'm pretty sure I have a skein of gray, because then I could use the gray all the way through, because I have that extra skein. It's slightly different, but it's close enough, I think, for that kind of thing. So anyway.
Yeah, I'll go back and double check. It could be that I felt like there was enough of main color to have it be to keep doing it as a band, but not using it in every single band.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
I get that.
Yeah.
So I did take a sweater project with me. I did decide on Birdwatcher.
Yeah.
Mostly because Birdwatcher, I was only going to have to take 2 skeins of yarn, and for Summer Sorrel, I would have had to take 3. So, like, as I'm looking at, carry-on space and suitcase space, like, it just made more sense to only have 2 skeins. Yes, I'm at a really weird point, which is doing short rows on the back.
While the front.
Or the front. I think the front and back are the same for this sweater. So the body is done. It's all scrunchy.
It's pretty.
The body's done. There's this great little kind of lace detail at the bottom. Nice. And then you just knit for miles in stockinette. I've divided out for the sleeves. Maybe if I do this, that will be better. Or divided out for the armholes. And then I'm currently at the point for the back or the front, because it's the same on both sides,
to decide.
Doing the little bit of short rows before I hold the stitches for the shoulder, bind off for the neck, and then hold the stitches for the shoulder, and then I do the same thing on the other side. There's a little bit of there's a little neck band and arm band that you pick up and knit when you're done. And
I'm a cheater. I never bind off for the neck. I just put that on waist yarn as well, and then I just pick it up as I'm going around.
I am pretty sure I have plenty of yarn.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. I knit extra length in the body and wasn't fully paying attention. I meant to do 14 inches, and I think I actually did closer to 15 because I just was kind of holding it up, and then when
you measure it 18 titimes in that last 3 days.
I didn't have a tape measure in my bag.
Goodness.
No, I know. It was in a different spot.
What kind of knitter are you?
In a different suitcase. It's just I can't. And then I was I'm not pulling it out, and I was I'll just figure something out if I run short on yarn. I have enough that's close to this that I could make it look
you've got plenty.
I think I have plenty of yarn actually. Yeah. So anyway, I think I'm going to try to get this done. I really want to try to get this done before I move on to this other.
Yeah, it does. The Seaglass one, there is a little bit of
figuring.
Yeah, you can just go, obviously, and do a very whimsical one, or whatever one. But it did, which I enjoyed sort of figuring it out, but I spend one of my Sunday afternoons here, in between customers, fussing with my approach and my brain and trying to lay it out how I wanted to do it. Having made the Seaglass tee, at least I had some sort of notion of what bugged me last time. Last time I was anxious about getting the sleeves to be the same and whatever else. And so a lot of people don't care, which is completely fine. I thought it would be nicer in this cardigan to have a plan for that. So
nice.
Yeah.
I did buy some yarn to start a separate project, which you were probably, because I think I put the order in while you were here, so I don't know if you saw it.
I did.
You're like, oh my god, what is she doing now?
I did wonder.
So my son is at the middle school and he plays basketball, and the coaches that he has for 7th grade, they carry over to 8th grade. So they run them through and then, go back. So they have the same coaches for 2 years, which I think is great. So there's 2 women teachers that coach, and their shtick or their thing is that they, for every game, they wear matching outfits. And so I started thinking, I was like, I bet you could make something that would like kind of fit with their aesthetic and make one for each, and it's kind of like a little like coach gift, and they don't have to wear it for games, but whatever.
But they could.
Right. And so I talked to my son about it because I don't like to do those things without getting permission from him because he's in that age group. And so I thought, wouldn't the tessellated vest be just like a great little thing to do? Yeah. How hard could it be, Jen?
Well, having made one, it's a little time consuming.
And so I showed William the picture and I was like, what about this? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, don't look at the color. Like, what color do you think should I do? And so he was like, I think you should do school colors. So the district that we're in is like maroon and white and gray and black, kind of like it's maroon and white is really the colors. And so this is what I settled on. We've got this Ultra Bold DK and like this really nice kind of cherry color. It's got a little like heathering, like gray, black heathering in it. So this is going to be the main color. We've got some silver Ariel, which also kind of fits into that color scheme. And then we've got Schopel Edition 3, the gray, black, white, variegated.
That'll be nice.
So that's going to become a couple of
This you have to double up a little bit.
Yeah, and I think I might need another one, but I also was going to check because I have some gray at home already. I don't think it's Ariel, but I think it's close enough that if I was holding it double, I could do that. And I actually think I need a third one of these, which we don't have. So in this color, colorway, I'll have to track down or look just to double check. It wasn't in inventory, but that doesn't mean we don't have one. So I want to get these. I would need for basketball season. So it's like end of November ish. Yeah, I know. But remember, I'm a fast knitter.
Yep.
And once you do one, you can knit the second one faster because you've figured out all the stuff.
Sure.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
You heard it here, folks. First, folks.
And it might be that they don't get them till partway through the season. So there's that. Like,
and Rhinebeck sweater. And
right.
Although you have, because you have your other sweater, your 3-season cardigan.
Yeah, I literally could finish the sleeve. I would need to finish the sleeves on that. Do the sleeves on that, and then I have a sweater. So I know I'm at that weird phase where
it's
you're
not like
you
don't have a sweater to wear to Rhinebeck.
No, I know.
So first
like,
of all,
not like I don't have like a whole cabinet full of hand knit sweaters.
Right.
I'm at the point where do I finish up some of these that are like half done or 3/4 of the way done? I think the answer to that is yes. Or do I start setting them aside to pick up some of these other projects?
Only you can.
I don't know the answer right now
your
to those. I think it's going to depend on the weather, because for me, with the weather today, what it's doing, thinking of picking up a project like that just makes my head explode. This is fine. This is a lightweight sweater. Like,
as you go home to sit in your air conditioned house.
Yes, even in the air conditioning, I just get too hot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's bad. So anyway.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
That's a struggle.
Yeah.
It's a hard one. Yeah.
So I guess stay tuned to see where I am.
I thought you were going to knit the matching cows.
In 2 weeks.
And I was like, that sounds like a good plan.
Oh, yeah. No, tessellated Because anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been wanting to make it, and it's a good
Are
excuse.
they small people?
I would probably make them both in a size that I would wear, so they're not
Yeah.
tiny,
Yeah.
but not like enormous.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're getting the crop version. I'm not
Yeah.
making it longer.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, you're getting cropped.
Right. Exactly right. Yes. Yeah.
But I just looked at the show notes that I printed off from last week, but I had not printed them off till I got here. And it looks like we were supposed to end the larch pet along yesterday, so
Probably.
that didn't happen.
But it could happen this week sometime.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it open.
Yeah.
Until we podcast next, which would probably be in 2 weeks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So is that like the 15th, 14th, or something? Or are you here? Not here that weekend?
I think I am. Sorry.
Okay.
The following 2 weekends, I think I'm gone.
Okay, so the 15th, it would be 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm gonna leave Larch Ped open till the 14th of September. And we'll draw prizes next time. Because this is vacation reentry and me just like not.
Well, plus when have we ever kept to one of our deadlines?
Never.
I don't even know why we set them.
Summer travel along because
it's good to have goals.
It feels important to have goals. Whether you make the goals or not is another thing. The summer travel along is also
at the end of summer, which is not now.
Yep, September 22nd. I think we settled on for a date, and then we've got the Seaglass along, which is going now through the end of November. So we extended that one past like festival season. But we opened it to any Seaglass pattern, so it doesn't have to be the cardigan, it doesn't have to be the sweater. You could do the hat, the tee, the mini, the cowl. There's a crochet version of the tee, like any of those. Any Seaglass, anything applies. There's a hat too. You just do a hat. When you have leftovers of that, you can knit the Seaglass hat. That would be cool.
Yeah.
So those are the alongs that we have, and the temperature blanket, which is the year-long craft along.
Not too late, but you are getting to the tipping point. 8 months in. It's up to you.
I mean, some people work better under pressure and deadlines.
2 blocks per month, 2.5 blocks per month. You're good to go.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. So that's what we have going on. And then, we can start to look at, something a lot of times in sort of the fall and towards the holiday season, we'll, do the like just general like holiday along, what do you do to relax around the holidays, and it's sort of gift makers one, like, so if you have any ideas or thoughts or something you'd like to do, just let us know, and I'm sure we'll come back from Rhinebeck and be like, we're gonna do all the things and here's the new stuff, and be really excited. Maybe, I don't know, or I'll just be like, no.
Right.
Too much stash, can't buy anything more, which has happened like never, so I don't know.
I know, that's true. Every year I'm like, I don't need any yarn, and then I somehow come home with a box.
Like a project, 2 or 3 extra projects. So
yeah. So a couple other quick little notes. One, in store, and perhaps in store only, but we have talked about putting it on our website, so we need to check with Ariana and Kelly, because
we have
Kelly's yarn.
We have Fernbridge Farm yarn here.
Beautiful yarn.
So lovely.
Yeah, we posted a little bit about it, so check out the social media, and there'll be a newsletter coming out sometime this week, and there'll be stuff in there about it as well.
Yeah.
So
it's so beautiful.
It's so nice to have it in the store. We're so excited.
Yeah.
That she has enough quantity to have a place in the store, and
2 that we get some.
Yes, we are very excited about that. Yeah. And I feel like there was one other yarn related thing. We do also have these pinwheel yarns. Segue from beautiful locally sourced yarn to mass produced yarn, but these are 100% acrylic, but they're perfect for baby things, or soft cozy blankets, or
Yeah, that Oh Baby cardigan that I knit was this style of yarn.
Yeah.
It wasn't this KFI stuff, but it was this style where it was this pinwheel.
Getting stuck behind a yarn.
Yep.
And then, so we have 4 different colors, like a neutral, 2 neutrals, I guess, because the green is kind of neutral, and then the rainbow, and then the sort of muted rainbow.
Yep.
So, if you're looking for something like that,
also
they're big.
Good for like Afghans or if you're crocheting.
So they are 150 grams, 540 yards, and it is it's a fingering weight. Yeah, I guess it is. Sorry, it looked a little chunkier than that to me, but so fingering weight. So yeah, this one's called Summer Sky. This is Riverstone. They have labels on them. It's so exciting.
Rainbow Bright.
Wildflowers. That's a nice one. Yeah, I like this one. So FYI, we'll put some stuff in the newsletter about that too. And we have some new stuff coming in as well, as we said before. So there's stuff.
Yeah, we'll probably have some new fall yarns to show you in 2 weeks when we come back, because that stuff will start to arrive and be in store. So
yeah. All right.
Okay.
I think that could be it.
I know. So thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit of time, and we hope we brought you some inspiration, some laughs, and some cute gnomes.
So cute.
So cute.
Honestly. Yeah.
Right? They're adorable, which is why I can't wait to make the next one.
Yeah, they are cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. We'll see you all soon, and happy crafting.
Bye.
Bye. Tripod, like the top of the tripod is like gotten all like wackadoodle, and that's kind of what's a little bit going on here.
Yeah.
So, all right, what is this? Is this cuddle?
Snuggle. Cuddle. I don't know. Cuddle, snuggle. Cuddle.
Oh, I want to look up how much it is.
We have a sample that we can show them.
Ooh, cool. Oh yeah, is that the lobster guy?
Yeah.
He's so cute.
Very cute. Hey, I don't know if she designed him, but she made him.
Really cute.
So welcome back.
Thank you.
Ooh, come on.
Thanks.
Gracefully throwing yourself in this chair. I know, the fun of vacation, 1 week back, and you're like, did I have a vacation? I don't really remember.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, though. The upside was my kids restarted school Monday.
Right into it.
Yeah, it was...
Good.
I made vacation plans.
Knowing that.
And was banking on a school schedule that has been what I know since we started in this district, which was like 9 years ago at this point. And school has always started on a Wednesday. So I timed us.
Monday? Yeah.
I timed us coming back as if the kids were going back to school on a Wednesday. And when the school calendar came out, they went back to school on a Monday.
Yeah.
So we flew back super late Friday. We got in at like 2 a.m., home at like 2:30 a.m. on like really early, I guess, Saturday morning at that point. Which means Saturday, instead of like coming home and going to bed and resetting, like everybody stayed on West Coast time for Saturday and a good chunk of Sunday, because you just could not, like, just with the natural sleep, like people didn't get up till like 11 noon, and it just went, everything was sideways. Monday was rough just across the board. But you know what, it is what it is, and
you had a good time while you were gone.
We had a good time. We did
lots of stuff.
So much stuff. So many fun things. I was trying to sort of pick the like highlights of stuff that are somewhat unique to that area that we can't do here. So things like or we went to a rodeo. That was like mind blowing. Like nobody in my family had been to a rodeo before.
Yeah.
And this was not like a, junior, this was a professional rodeo.
Yeah.
So it was, part of the rodeo circuit, and the people that were participating are like they're professional athletes. Like it was a well-run, like
this
oiled machine.
Job,
like this is their job.
Yeah.
Like they're doing this to earn a living kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it was like high-level rodeo, which was super fun. That's a whole different culture, and like it's like going to NASCAR for me, where I'm like, whoa, well, this is kind of fun, but so something different. I took my kids tree climbing.
Yeah, that looked like fun.
It was fun. I was ill prepared for the physical nature of it. I should have.
Body strength.
I should have known.
Yeah, but you think to yourself, well, they're just going to lift me up.
Well, there is. Well, they say like it's for all people of all abilities. So I was like, okay, like I can do this. Lots more upper body than I was expecting, but just really like full body. Like you're using your legs and your arms in tandem, and like this part of like my tricep was not happy. And like I ended up.
You don't use that when you're knitting.
No, you do not. No, you do not. I ended up with some really interesting bruises on my legs from like I think partially from the harnesses and partially from like the ropes and just. William and I made it like 150 feet in the air.
Wow.
Little Miss Tree Monkey over there made it all the way to the top, which was like 220 feet. Mm-hmm. She just like up she went, like that kid.
Agile.
Yeah, there she goes.
And how did your husband do?
He didn't. He chose not.
It was not his thing.
It's not his thing. He does not do heights.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either, but I would feel like that might be. I don't know.
I think I was fine. I had to talk William down a little bit because he made the mistake of looking down once, and I was like, you cannot look down. Like you just look out, look up, and look out. It doesn't. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
We did like horseback trail riding. We did go to a baseball game because how could we not go to baseball while we were out there?
Mm-hmm.
And we went whitewater rafting. Though Abigail didn't get to go whitewater rafting with us. She got bit by a dog the day before we were supposed to go.
Oh.
Like broke the skin. Like it was a whole thing. Like it was like I do not need this on my vacation.
Yeah.
Tripped to urgent care. Like the police were called. Like it was a thing.
A real dog bite.
Yeah. So if you have open puncture wounds like that, it's not advised to go in the river.
Yeah.
Because the bacteria you can pick up in the river is apparently way worse than anything the dog could have in its mouth, which was already pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, the good news is that not the good news, but dog was impounded and would have come out of impound quarantine for rabies on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And we have heard nothing. So
that's good. Yeah.
And if you can read between the lines as to why that happened, yay. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
Could have done without that, but my kid was a trooper.
Yeah.
Things are healing. Seems to be no infections. So no bad side effects from the really beefy antibiotic that she had to take because of it. So and then we got to travel with antibiotics. So liquid requires to be refrigerated antibiotic as we're traveling through multiple time zones for 12 plus hours of travel. That was also really exciting.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Vacation. But it's all good.
Yeah.
And my kids have some memories though. The younger one, if you ask her how her trip was, she'll lead with, I got bit by a dog. So that
not that I climbed a tree into the stratosphere.
All of this other stuff that you got to do. I got bit by a dog. So they'll tell you that, and then there might also be some commentary about the people that set a fire on the sidewalk in Portland when we were there. So they're
it's the things you're not used to that really stand out, unfortunately, right? Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But you had some family time, saw your parents, saw your brother.
Yep. Got to see all of my family people, immediate family people while we were out there. And was, cousin time. Poor William had to like suffer through cousin time because my brother's 2 kids are 8 and 5 and they're both girls, and so that became like the little girl pod, and like they all were in the same room together, and it looked like a clothes factory blew up in there like every day. Like I don't know what they do, like things everywhere, like we didn't make it home with all of our stuff, like they were finding stuff tucked in the bed and like under the sheets. I was just like, what are these kids doing in here?
Better not to know.
Yeah, I probably don't want to know.
And also, it's hard to remember back that far.
Right. I mean, they clearly were having a good time. You know, they got along.
That's great.
So, yeah.
That's nice.
It was fun. So we're back. And now I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That's what happens. Vacations are so short, generally. Yeah. Well, you know, while you were gone, let's see what happened here.
There was another storm here.
Like, the day you left was like the most crazy storm. There were trees down everywhere. There was a tree down next to your office. There were trees everywhere. It's crazy.
No, I had a friend go check our driveway because I was like,
I almost went and drove past your house. Right.
Home.
Yeah. And then I thought, well, what are they going to do while they're gone?
Well, but it would just more be being aware that when we came back really late at night, we might have to trudge up our driveway to get to the house. Yeah. Or, you know, we know enough people around that we probably could have sent out some like SOS, like, can you please just cut this tree up in our driveway so we can get home when we come back. Yeah.
Sounds like there was nothing then.
There was nothing. We didn't even lose power at my house. So we have...
Mine flickered a lot, but it didn't actually go out, which for me is very unusual. I almost never lose my power.
We have one of those whole house battery backup systems. And so if the power goes out, we get a notification that the battery backup system's on. So that it didn't ever go out at our house.
Yeah. It was a crazy storm, I will tell you. It was...
I'm so glad we made it out.
But it was kind of... it was like late afternoon and into the evening, and then so, you know, I was sitting on the couch watching the trees around my house like bend sideways, and I was like, wow, goodness.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Other than that, for me, it's mostly been trying to entice the cat to eat and to do stuff, but he's hanging in there. No, he's hanging in there. So
good.
He's lost a bit of weight, but she's got him so that she's just really good. So she's got him on a system where if it's too much for him, then she waits a week. And so,
Oh, excellent.
So he has time in between to recover, but he's doing fine.
That's good. I'm good.
So but it's tough, has sort of upended my schedule a little bit as well, but it's all good. So
our dog was at the kennel for like 2 weeks, which is really, even for the most well-adjusted dog, is a long time. She came home and I was like,
exhausted.
I think that she was 100% exhausted, but she was really mellow, and I was like, did our dog get broken? And like broken in a way that I'm not going to complain about. Like, this is awesome. Like, I took her to a baseball game. Like, you know, you could take her places because she wasn't like out of control.
Yeah.
No, it was just because she was really, really tired. Like,
because like day 2 she bounced back.
It took her like to like the middle of this last week. But even the bounce back, like, I feel like she's slightly more mellow, which is saying a lot because but I just feel like there's a level of mellowness that wasn't there before. So I'll take it if I have to go away for another 2 weeks to like get the next like
to get it
level
to stick
achieved.
a little bit. That
would be amazing. Because it was great. She went to a baseball game last Sunday with us, and she was just hanging out in the grass. Like, she just sat there and then laid down and was like, you know, I was like, see, I would take you everywhere if you acted like this. Like,
normally,
like a normal dog. And instead I've got crazy, out of control dog. But so that was good. But she seems to be fine otherwise. Like, I think she was just she was hoarse. She barked so much. She barked when she got home, and I was like, what's the matter with it? I was like, oh, you're hoarse.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have more to report after it being a month, but I'm sure I did other stuff, but just sort of recedes into the mist of the last couple weeks.
Yeah, and it kind of all starts to blend together. So yeah, we're back at school. We're trying to get the fall schedule sorted.
Yeah.
Which I don't actually have all of the fall schedule yet. Kind of waiting for some like sports stuff to come in.
Crystallize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll be super crazy because I only have one kid that's really doing a ton of stuff, and that's the younger one. And their things don't tend to be super intensive.
Yeah.
So, but once basketball season starts, here we go again.
Yeah. Joy of being a parent today.
Yeah. Well, and looking at the school calendar, and I was like, you know, if I counted up all of the different days where there's like no school or even like half days or things, like there's nobody in this country that has enough vacation time
or childcare
to take all of the days off that are on the vacation. Never mind summer. Like I'm putting summer aside, but just vacation days. Like we have in October coming up, the week before we go to Rhinebeck. So if it was like Rhinebeck week, I might be like, so Jen, my family might be coming with us.
Yes.
But of course it's not Rhinebeck week. It's the week before.
Yeah.
There's a half day on the Wednesday, and then there's no school Thursday and Friday.
Just because.
Why?
Indigenous Peoples Weekend.
It is, but why is that even necessary?
And why do you more than one day?
And why do you lead with the half day? That's just like punch you in the face kind of garbage.
And also, anyway.
And there's like the whole week off for Thanksgiving. Like that was a shocker when my kids went into the public school system. Yeah. We had maybe a half day Wednesday, but even if I'm remembering correctly, we had a full day on Wednesday and then we got Thursday and Friday off. Like the whole week is now a vacation.
I think we went to school the whole day on Wednesday.
Right. I think we did too. Christmas, fine. You know what? Christmas is what Christmas is. And I understand those holidays and that's fine. Our district used to do so we also have February break and April break because one spring break's not enough.
We always have had that my whole entire life here.
That's regional.
Must be an East Coast thing.
Or a New England thing because we had one spring break. It was in March and that was it.
March. Ours were always February and April.
So our February
and are still.
Yeah, our February break used to be President's Day week.
Yeah.
For my district. So that means like if you're a grown up with a job, you're managing 4 business work days because lots of people get President's Day off, depending on what kind of job you have. But it was basically 4 days you had to manage. Our district this year has moved it to the week after President's Day week. So now, and added a vacation day on the following Monday and an in-service day on the following Tuesday. So now you have 7 working days that you're up to.
It's a weird thing too, right? Because a lot of people take vacation then, and so sometimes they pull their kids out of school. So I don't know. I don't know.
Right. But my other beef with it is that it now encompasses to town meeting day. So if you're trying to go away, you either have to truncate your vacation to get back to be back for town meeting, which most of them are on the Saturdays now, and then voting's on the Tuesday, or you miss both of those things. So people with kids now miss those things. It just feels like another punch in the face for parents.
Yeah, it's just
parents with jobs. Like it is very, very uncool.
It's an interesting thing, and it's probably something we probably don't need to delve into here, but it does beg the question of like being in the office versus working from home, and whether they think that people's calendars are that much more flexible now that they can just their kids can be wandering around doing whatever.
I mean,
I don't know.
I feel lucky that my kids are starting to get to
the age
where they can
they're self-sufficient,
be relatively self-sufficient. My husband now works from home. That was a change from COVID. But it's still like
the assumption though that what if you're in a service job?
Right, you can't
work in a
the
restaurant
same job,
cleaning or something like that. You cannot.
Right.
It's just the assumption that everybody is like here it makes me cranky.
Yeah, and it's just anyway. And then people.
Some jobs require you to be present for them.
Right. But then I feel like people complain like, why can't we get volunteers in the school? We can't get volunteers in the school because nobody has any time.
Right.
Because we use up all of our comp time, our paid time off to deal with the vacation days, and then we don't have any extra time to take time off to come volunteer in schools.
Right, exactly.
Like,
right.
That's why. Sorry. This turned into like a giant rant about the school calendar, and I apologize, but it's just irks me.
I don't have children, and I still find it annoying
Well,
because
you
I'm
have
an employer.
employees.
Yes, I'm an employer. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's all right.
Back to the yarn and knitting.
Back to
content.
yarn and knitting, which we should probably transition to.
We probably should. There's lots to talk about.
Because the good news is this is the end. So if you've turned it off, you've heard the yarn content already, and this is just our apparently my complaint session about
you can rewind that if you need to. Oh yes, right. And it is also the one tiny last thing I will say is this whole because school is back in session, summer's over. For those of us that do not have children,
Summer's
I believe
not
that
over.
there's still anher month of summer, technically, even on the calendar.
Yeah.
And also weather-wise here in Vermont.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's just the whole world does not revolve around the school system.
No, it doesn't. But I think, for a huge...
Unfortunately, it's a huge impact on everything.
Huge segment of the population, our summer is over. Because,
Yes, right.
there's no traveling. There's no, going away for a week in September somewhere because my kids are in school. So...
It's the best time in the world to travel.
I know. Don't I know it? Don't I know it? You know when is not a great time to travel? School
August.
Vacations.
Right. No, I have done that as well, and it's a tricky thing.
Yeah, because the airlines know when school vacations are.
Yeah, and they do vary a little bit. Even here, they're sort of some of the counties are off a
little
week
bit
or so.
different.
Yeah, but it's
no. We used to be the off week.
Oh, now you're with everybody
And
else.
now we're with everybody else.
Oh.
That's the other thing that irritates me about the change. Never mind the 4 to 7 days of working days, but just we used to be an off week, so sometimes it was a little bit easier to go other places, not be here because it's a huge ski weekend and ski time here. But if you were trying to get somewhere else because you were slightly
Florida, for example.
Yeah, no, but anywhere
Warm,
else.
someplace warm.
Someplace warm, it was a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay.
That's what I think about that.
Wow, Ange came back with a lot of energy.
I did.
From vacation. Look, she's replenished.
For right now.
Next time we podcast, she'll be sideways.
My soul has been taken. It's only September.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
All right.
Well, welcome back.
Okay, so thank you. You should just jump right in.